Hey everybody, it's Matt the Dice Chugger from the Literary Gamers, today coming to you with a board game review. Today we'll be taking a look at Horizons of Spirit Island. This is the Target exclusive for Spirit Island that you're seeing in the stores nowadays. This is designed by Eric Royce, I think that's how you pronounce it. Greater Than Games is the publisher. Now, here's the thing. I'm not going to teach you how to play Spirit Island. There's a lot going on in Spirit Island. Horizons of Spirit Island is a lighter version of the game, but more so about what's provided within the box. So what we're going to do, instead of learning how to play Spirit Island, is going to take a look at the components and how they're a little different from regular Spirit Island, and then we'll head back up to the table and hear what I think. Alright, I'm interrupting this video because I heard a dirty rumor that over 80% of you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. What's holding you back? There's a tiny little red button underneath this video that says subscribe, and then there's a tiny little bell where you'll get a notification on your devices that tells you when you should be watching our videos. And if you watch our videos and subscribe, then you'll be kept up with all the content, do all the things. I can't list them off because there's so many things. Just go and do the things. Alright, bye. Alright, so here is probably one of the larger changes of Horizons of Spirit Island from Spirit Island, and that is the set board. This is the side for 2 players, this is the side for 3, because remember, this game goes from 1 to 3. And they also have, just right there, the fear number, and then the blight number down here as well. Same as usual with the other boards you have, and it tells you basically where to put the stuff. How is this different if you've never seen regular Spirit Island? There's modular boards in regular Spirit Island that you lock together. There are 6 boards for up to 6 people. Not sure I'd ever play Spirit Island with 6 people. That'd be one long game. But that's the major difference here. Also, aesthetically, you have in Horizons of Spirit Island tokens for the invaders, and then you have them for the towns. I mean, they're all considered invaders. And the cities, while in the the regular game, you have, yes, I'm opening bags, little miniatures here. That's the level 1s. And then, of course, same thing goes for the towns. Are those cities? These are cities, I'm sorry about that. And the towns. So instead of the plastic pieces, you're getting cardboard punch-outs. And then you're also getting tokens for Dahan. And in the standard game, they come as wooden pieces there. The last thing, component-wise, that was changed were blight tokens. In the new one here, it's punch-outs, and you have actual plastic pieces here in the original Spirit Island. The other big difference that people are going to notice is, of course, mainly that there's separate boards for stuff. So here's the, where did it go? I just had it. Here it is. So here's the Spirit Island board that you do your fear cards and everything, and then the colonizer cards and where you keep your blight. Whereas on this one, it's all on the main board, which is kind of nice. I kind of like that. One of the other major things that you're going to notice differently between the 2 games is when you look at Spirit Island, the Horizons of Spirit Island, I'm sorry. This is some really nice, well done, I think it's satin finished cardstock. While when you get regular Spirit Island, it's going to be these actual cardboard pieces here. And I've already seen a lot of people talking about how they would have rather had this. Now, keeping all of that in mind, I actually don't mind the differences here with the cardstock. So, that being the case, let's take a look at some of the spirits we have in this one. Alright. We have first, Eyes Watch from the Trees. Their special rule, Dahan Trust the Watchers. After one of your powers adds Defend to a single land, gather up to 1 Dahan into that land. Their innate power is Mischief and Sabotage. It is a fast power, with range 1 from a sacred site targeting invaders, and has all these abilities down here. And of course you gain some of your things like you usually do in regular Spirit Island as well. It is labeled as low on offense, a little more on control, mid to fear, high on defense, and low on utility. Alright, and it tells you pretty much here the good play style for them. Alright. The next we have Rising Heat of Stone and Sand. Its special rule is Blistering Heat. At your sacred site, invaders have -1 health to a minimum of 1. And they have an innate power of Scorch with Waves of Heat. It is a slow power with a range of 1 from a sacred site, targeting any. And then, of course, you have all your stuff here. Its second one is specific. Is that usual? Yeah, that's usual. I'm looking at some of the other ones, too. And, of course, high on offense, mid on control and utility, low on fear, and a little more on defense. All right. Then we have Devouring Teeth Lurk Underfoot. A special rule. Territorial Aggression. Your damage-dealing powers do +1 damage. It's good when you're fighting off cities. The innate power, Death approaches from beneath the surface. It's a slow power with a range of 1 and targets invaders. And its usual stuff right here for growth and presence. High on offense, mid to low on control, fear, and defense, and little not much to utility. Okay. Then we have Fathomless Mud of the Swamp, which is offer no firm foundations at your sacred site, build actions, add 1 1 regular invader instead of the towns or cities. And the innate power, Spreading and Dreadful Mire, is slow speed. It's 1 range away from a sacred site and targets invaders, and has pretty standard growths, options, and of course presence there as well. And it's pretty much mid on everything. All right. Except I would say low on utility. The last we have Sunbright Whirlwind, which special rule is a stiff wind at their backs. After you add presence during growth, push up to 1 invader or Dahan from that land. And then its innate power, Violent Windstorms. It is a slow speed of range 1 for targeting any. All right, and it's standard growth stuff here in presence. Mid to offense, high on control, low on fear and defense, and mid on utility. So these are the 5 spirits that come in Horizons of Spirit Island. I found them all very simple to use. Of course, they have their own cards like usual, and then the upgrades to the major powers and minor. So that's pretty much what's in the box. Oh, what else we have here? We have the tokens for presence. We have power currency. Fear cards, the invader cards, and the reminder tokens there as well. A lot of what I just pulled out is fairly similar to what else is in Spirit Island. So if you're wondering what's different about this game, not much really. It's just I think they've made these spirits a bit easier to understand so you can jump into the game a bit better. And they've given you the pretty much the standard board instead of the modular one. And a bit more ease of finding places to put things and the like. So overall, that's pretty much what is in the box for Horizons of Spirit Island and what's mainly different from the other game that you often see in the FLGS. So let's head back up to the table and I'll talk about my thoughts on this and see you there. So that is Horizons of Spirit Island. Now, Jen and I really enjoy Spirit Island. It was one of the games that when I was post-surgery on my ankle, we were playing downstairs a lot. It was that, Ark Nova, Thunderstone Quest. I played Lord of the Rings. And then it was Spirit Island. We were just getting into the game. It had been shown to us years ago, but it was late. It was in kind of like a not a huge party setting, but it was a loud setting. It was someone was having a convention in their home. And we were shown Spirit Island, and it was just so much to wrap your mind around. And we hadn't yet gotten to that place in our gaming lives yet. We were still always kind of floating around that, 2 to 3.5 or high 3, maybe low 4 weight. We weren't really traveling into the 4 weight too much. The heaviest game we had owned at that time was War of the Ring. And so when we were shown Spirit Island, I was so lost. I had no idea what I was supposed to be doing. I knew that I had some good cards and some cards that were just kind of wasteful in my hand. And at the end of the day, I could see what it was trying to do, but I couldn't get around it. when we had gotten it again, we had spent, we took our time. We spent a lot of time really reading the rulebook and trying to understand what was going on. At this point, there were more videos on how to play Spirit Island than there were before. Another reason why I'm not going to show you how to play Spirit Island is there's plenty out there on how to play Spirit Island. But it was wrapping our minds also around the different spirits and what they could do. What does this do different as a beginner jump start for Spirit Island, the game? I think that for me, the spirits, all of them in this game, are really light and easy to understand. Especially the cards are a bit more clear on what you have to do. Some of the spirits that are like insane in Spirit Island as far as their powers go, I think with that you need a lot more experience with the game. This is, I still think, the game that you really have to work hard to be the alpha gamer. Like, if you want to sit there and control the table, it takes a lot to really figure out how to do it. Because people can just do what they want. It's their hand of cards. It's not an open table. So I think this actually is a really great jumpstart for a lot of people. And also, because it's being sold in Target, it's being sold at a very accessible price. We're living in a day and age where board games are only consistently going up and up and up in price. So to see this for $30 in Target, fantastic. It only plays to 3, which I think is great. I've played Spirit Island with 4, and it was a lot. I think the sweet spot is 2. But probably works really well with 3. What are my concerns, and what are my... do I have any criticisms? My concern is the board. So when you play regular Spirit Island, you have the modular boards. This one, if this is the only version you're going to own, if this is the only one you're going to own, that's your board. Now, if that doesn't bother you, that's great. That's great. For me, I'd like to see how you can, manipulate those boards a bit more. But that's coming from someone who's played a lot of Spirit Island. I understand, like, some people have said that they didn't see what the big deal was about Spirit Island after playing this one, or they didn't understand, or they were disappointed. But I think that's a lot due to the fact that they had these different pieces. I mean, you see pictures of Spirit Island, and it's got all the plastic and everything on it, and then you're going to tokens, and it is a cost-saving measure. So if you're disappointed with it, then I think it's because either A, the spirits may have been too light for you, or you were expecting a larger production. And all I can say is, remember, it's $30. They're really trying to keep the price point down. And I can commend them for that. As for me and my thoughts on Horizons of Spirit Island, people are going to say, well, are you keeping it? I feel like this is an expansion to me. This is a standalone expansion, which gives me, I think it's five new spirits. Let me check now before somebody asks me in the comments. 5 new spirits, and it's got, they're all very asymmetrical, as they always are. So I do think that, for me, this is an expansion. Yeah, it's 5. People are like, well, it's cardstock. Good. My copy of Spirit Island is held together by elastic bands because it's popping so much out of its box. So I'm happy to have cardstock spirits. I know they don't match with everything else, but you know what? The graphic design does, and it'll just fit so much easier. Now, for me, will I be keeping like the Dahan tokens or the colonist tokens? I might add the fear tokens, but probably not. I won't be keeping the tokens that downgraded the components from the previous edition because I have those. So I really think I can't talk. Once again, I cannot talk. I think Greater Than Games has something really special here. I think that this is going to be much more approachable for people to get into Spirit Island. The spirits are much lighter. The price point is great because when you have the option of spending $30 on a copy of a game versus the $80 price tag to get into regular Spirit Island, this is just the right way to get into it, I would say. And then if you really enjoy it and have played the snot out of it, then I would say upgrade yourself to Spirit Island or find someone who has it and get a chance to explore the other spirits that are in there. Because I think in the base box of the original game, there's only 4 spirits that are what they consider easy medium. So easy medium versus what I would consider these spirits are probably easy. So I think it's good. I think there's a lot to love here. I think that they've done the right thing. I really liked this because the rulebook is fairly daunting, and there's some odd phrasing of wording going on in the original rulebook. Not something I would have used, but I understand what they're going for, especially with the original spawning of the colonists. Just some odd wording going on, but that's more on me and my understanding of heavy games versus the rulebook. The rulebook for all of this is very good. So anyway, that's Horizons of Spirit Island, published by Greater Than Games, designed by Eric Royce. This is for 1 to 3 players, and this is I believe it's a Target exclusive for now. So if you're watching this video in 2 years going, well, I just found one in my FLGS, good for you. At the time of making this video, this was a Target exclusive. So we'll see you next time, everybody. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and listen to the pirate. Thanks, everyone.